Itu Anu, Alex, Costa. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir. Paune? Yes. Yeah.
Hello, who else is here?
Hey, Banjo, you're here today.
I am here. I've been here every time we've met.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're on the video.
Yes. All right. Anjuman, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well.
Hi,
Kaush?
Professor Banjo. How are you doing?
Hello. This is Professor Banjo now, right?
Oh, yeah, nice to see you.
So, hello, everybody.
Hello. Nice to see you, everyone.
Okay.
The quiz is the deadline is tonight, right? The professor.
I don't know. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there in Canvas, so you have to tell me what it is. I don't know what it is.
Yes, they scared me then, all my friends, because I didn't done it. So
I think the deadline was
11:59. No, it's 17th tonight.
Oh, 17th?
Yes, 17th.
Okay.
Hi.
All right.
Hi, Professor.
Hi, Anu, how are you?
How are you? I'm good.
So, Anu, did you do the quiz?
Yes.
All right. So, was it hard? Was it easy? Did you get 100%? What happened?
I got, I think, 92, like that, 92%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is easy.
So, which question was difficult for you? Which one did you miss? Can you share your screen? Let's see which question you had a problem with.
Yeah, I got confused on some questions, like 1 or 2 questions.
Okay.
You want me to
can you share your screen? Let's see which one it was. Yeah, if you can share your screen, Anu. I actually thought the deadline was last night. Let me take a look at it.
I saw the deadline at 11:59 from today, so it was an hour ago.
All right. Oh, May 17th. Okay, that's today. Okay, that's tonight. All right, tonight. All right, so let's kind of do a review here. So let's go down to the one that you had a problem with. I think you missed 3 questions.
Yeah, 4 questions.
All right. So wait a second. You just missed it. The one up top.
You want me to go top? Oh, okay, missed one. Yeah, I
thought so question 2.
Question 2 missed. Yes. This one. I thought this one.
So the question is except. It says except. The most common form factors used today are all the following except. So everything is included. There's one that is not included. So except.
Yeah.
Now, small outline, advanced technology extended doesn't exist. Nothing like that. Right?
Yes.
Micro ATX is one of them, right?
Yeah. Yes. later I studied and I saw this was existed and this was not.
Okay.
I
So
got
yeah.
little
So when
bit
you
confused.
read the question, you got to make a note of when it says except or not including, things like that.
Yeah, that I saw, but I got confused here. This one is, I don't know, this one is doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'm not sure with the answers actually.
Okay, let's go to the next one you missed.
This one also a little bit
Okay.
confused.
All right, Alex, what do you think of this one here? Question 6.
Let me see. Choose the correct statement. A few different hard drive. The answer was different hard drive standard connectors. The newer and much faster one is parallel HDA. I think I made a mistake on that one too.
Okay. So the correct statement. So the one you selected there says there are a few different drive standard connectors. The newer and much faster one. This is not the newer and faster one. The newer and faster one is the SATA.
SATA.
Yeah,
Yes.
SATA. Later I studied again.
So that statement. so that statement is not correct.
Yes.
Now, the first statement, if your system runs low on RAM, it can use ROM. That is not correct. Then there are 7 different speeds. And Juman, how many speeds do we have? Is it 7?
Number 7, I don't see in this.
No. Question 6. That one of the options there says there are 7 different speeds supported by PCIe. Is it 7?
Yes. It's 1, 2.
What?
No.
4. PCIe 1. PCIe 2.
PCIe 1, 2.
The speeds by 1, by 4, by 8, by 16.
By 6.
Yes.
That's it. 4.
So how many different speeds do we have?
7.
No, they're not 7. That statement is not correct.
It's by square 2, 4, 8, 16, 64. Like
Yeah, so the question is how many different speeds do we have? How many different speeds?
8 different speeds.
Are they 8 or 6?
8.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
6.
we can always look back at the book.
Yeah.
But that statement is not correct. So the correct statement is, aside from processor, the most important chip on the motherboard is the BIOS chip, because we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
The BIOS chip is what helps the computer boot up, right? All the information about when you boot your computer, and it has to get all the memory, all the different items you have there, get everything ready for you to do your work on the computer. It's all in the BIOS chip. So it's the most important chip besides the CPU or the processor, like we talked about. So that's the correct answer. All right, let's see the other one. Okay. Couch, what do you think of this one?
Is the type you use when you store files on the USB flash drive? Yeah, it's RAM, static RAM. It's RAM.
Yeah, well, the correct answer is static RAM, SRAM, and we selected quick RAM. So static RAM is a type of the RAM type, the storage type, right? The storage type, static. Because when you store on the USB, the files don't go anywhere, right? So that's the correct one there, static RAM.
Yes, it's system rider, system timer.
Say that again.
System timer. Static RAM is so fast, and timer, system timer. I don't know.
System time? No, it's not the same thing as system time. Static RAM. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on to the next one.
Yes.
I think there should be one more. Yeah, this one here, I know I was surprised. Well, maybe a little bit surprised
I got confused
that you didn't
again.
get this right.
Confused. Theta, I can't able to recognize. But later again I studied and then could get. I could get it.
So I think maybe one thing that might help you is the PATA is the older one, and it's bigger, right? This is the size here. The newer one is the smaller connector. That's the SATA, right? Let me share my screen, and if we go back to that, if we go back to the, let's see.
There's a page on.
If we go to the book, yep.
38, page 38. This one.
Page 30.
This is the one, right? So 38.
Exactly, that's it right there. Yep. So, there's actually the chapter 1 here. So you're going to see if we go, you got to go down a little bit here. Okay, right here. You see that? So it says right here, figure 1.22. So when you connect them, right, this is where the PATA goes into. PATA goes in here. Then the new one goes in here. Right? Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, so that's the, so it says right here that the, what you would call it now?
Beta.
This one here, exactly. This is, shows the end of the data cable. So the yellow, this blue one here, it goes into the bigger slot up here in this bigger slot. You go, so the one at the top is the PATA, and the one at the bottom is the SATA. Or SATA, depends on how you pronounce it. So you can see that it's the smaller one. It goes into the smaller space right here. It's just a newer technology, that's all, right? Just a newer technology. And then the question about I think the PCIe. The different speeds, right? The different speeds. Let me get it there. All right, so you see right here. What was the question again, Anu? Or what was the different options there? Because right here it says there are 7 different speeds. You guys are quiet? Hello?
I remember that option. It said that we had 7 different speeds, but the fastest one was 12.
Okay,
So
let's go
I
back to
think
that question.
this is why, yeah, there.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So right here it says there are 7 different speeds, which is correct, but it says by 12 is the most common. So that's where you have a problem, because
This
by
one
12,
is not common.
exactly. Which is the most common?
16.
16.
By 16. Exactly. So when you read a question, you have to read the full question, not just the first part or just the end part. Because the first part might be correct, but then the other half of it now makes the whole thing incorrect. Okay? So that's what we have there. All right, well, very good. So let's go to chapter 2. Does anyone have any questions or anything? You know, something you have a question about, maybe about the quiz or something else? No questions? All right. So chapter 2 is about some of the connections that we use, just like the PATA and the SATA cables, the connectors, the different cables, or should I say, cables, wires that are used to plug and connect these different devices together. Okay, so that's what chapter 2 is about: peripherals and connectors. We're going to look at different units of data, units of speeds, data speeds, bytes per second, kilobytes per second. We're going to look at the different names of the connectors: RJ45, RJ11. Some of these things you've seen them before, but you may not know the name. Okay, so you may have seen them before. Now you're going to know, okay, so that's the name of that particular item that I've seen before. USB, VGA, things like that. Printers, keyboards, of course. All right. So let me do this here.
No.
1 second. Increase my screen a little bit. All right. So let's look at the first part here is the audio and video devices. Okay. Let me get my highlighter here. All right. All right, so audio connectors. Okay, now, so let's look at this picture here. When you look at the back side, the reverse side of your computer, especially your desktop, then the back, the rear side of it, right, the back of that, the back panel, like it says here, the back panel of the desktop, you're going to see the different, should I say, different connectors, right? Connectors here. Now, the colors, right? The colors will tell you, and sometimes you have some icons there, right? The colors and the icons will tell you what goes in there. So when you see an icon like this, you see this icon here, Banjo, that icon tells you that that's a what?
For USB?
A USB, exactly. It looks like a plant, right? Or like a tree.
Yep.
Something like that, like a little plant. So that's a USB. And then you have this colors for this connectors here. You have the blue, you have the green, you have the pink. So you can see these little pictures here, right? Ling, you can see this picture here. This is can you see this picture here? It's a picture of a what?
Yes, like a speaker.
A microphone, not a speaker.
Yeah, microphone.
Okay, you speak into a microphone, right? But a speaker is where you get the sound from on your, like if you have those sound systems, that's a speaker.
Plug in
right?
inside.
Yeah, so all right, so here is a speaker, right? These are speakers, right? But the one we just saw, that's a microphone, right, Lane? That's a microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know what you're trying to say, right? It's just sometimes when you talk about computers, we have to be able to know the name of that item. Okay. Sometimes we all get it confused. We call different things different. But that's a microphone, and this is a speaker, right? Okay. All right, and then you have, so the green one here, this green connector, that's where you have your, so if you have speakers, right? If you buy a speaker, Lane,
Yes.
you grab the speaker, you grab the cord and you plug it into the green part behind your computer. And then, you can have more sound, all right? You can have more sound coming out of your, maybe louder sound or, something more fancy and stuff like that. All right, so right here it tells us that if you look here, it says, where is it now? 1 second. So it says right here, the audio, right? So the audio input, one is for the speakers. Usually the green one is for the speakers and one is for the microphone, okay? So that's the pink one for the microphone. So when you see the colors, that gives you an idea of what goes there. So sometimes you're trying to connect all this stuff yourself, and you just keep trying different ones, right? Like I put in the pink one, it didn't work. I put in the green one, oh, it works. So you just know it's the green one, okay? So if you want to record yourself and you have a microphone, then you plug it in the pink one. Okay. So here's another panel. There's another panel here. This looks like a little bit of a different panel. It says that figure 2.2 is like a sound card, right? Sound card, right here. It gives you more options of, different, more plugs, right? And you can look at the different descriptions here, right? You can have a subwoofer if you're heavily into music and you want to, connect all these things. So the green is for speakers, like we said. The pink is for the microphone. So different options there. If you want to, connect it, some more devices to your computer. Okay. So let's see display devices and connectors. Display devices. Okay. Wait a minute. All right, well, don't miss something here. So right here, if you see this description of a sound card, it says that the sound card is responsible for handling both input and output devices, right? So input and output, right? Input and output. What is input and output? So we just talked about these devices, right? Output is something that gives you, you get something out of your computer. Input is when you put something in. So Lynn, which of this is a input connection?
The blue one.
Well, it says in because the blue one here, what does it say the blue one is again? The green one is for speakers, the pink one is for microphone. You didn't even talk about the blue one. What's the blue one do?
I think the blue one is very rarely used, maybe for
Yeah, I
input,
don't even
but
know what
not
I don't even know
for
what the blue one does really.
yeah, actually it just you input sound but not using the microphone. You could use like a keyboard or any other sound device. So you should
Okay,
choose the blue
okay.
one.
Oh.
All right. So the most common ones, right, Ling, are the green and the pink. So input, you see right here, it says, if you look here, it says right here, you have to know which one is the audio input. So if you want to speak and record, right, Ling, you
Mhm.
use your microphone
Yeah.
to input, to put something in. You want to record on your computer. So that's input. If output means you want to get something out, you want to get the sound out of the computer. Output. And that is right here, the green one. So when you plug in your speakers, right, into your computer, it gives you sound output.
Mhm.
So it's important to understand input and output. Input is when you, for example, the microphone, you want to say something, you want to record, put something into your computer, and then output is the other one, right? So it says right here that the sound card, this is a sound card, this connection here, which you might find behind your computer, is a sound card for input and output, because you can see some of the devices here. You have the microphone, you have the common ones, right? The microphone and the speakers connection. So input and output. All right. Let's see a few more of the display devices and connectors here. Let's see. Display devices. All right. So here are a few categories. You see your CRT projectors, flat screens, touch screens, right? Let's just go to the most common ones here. Okay, well, actually, let's talk about this part here too. So there are a couple of words that we should be familiar with here, I think, and that is, when we go down here, you look at resolution. Okay, resolution. So resolution, so when you look at a screen, like this is the monitor screen, for example, right? This is the monitor screen, like a monitor screen. Monitor screen. All right. All right, so when you look at a monitor screen, we're talking about sometimes how sharp, right? How sharp the images are on the monitor screen, right? The resolution, how sharp. It might also be, let's see how he describes it here in terms of resolution. It's defined by how many software picture element pixels, right? Pixels. How many pixels on the screen? So when you say pixels, this word here, pixels, right? What are pixels? So the best way to describe pixels, right? Pixels help your computer monitor, display very sharp images. So let's look at pixels, right? So I'm going to show you an example here. If I go here and I say pixelated images. All right, so look at this picture here. Let's see if you can tell who this is, right? Who is this person? I don't know who this person is. Does anybody know?
Barack Obama.
Obama.
Okay, so the picture on the right, Arch, are you there? The picture on the right, right? We can say that the picture on the right is pixelated. It has all these pixels. It's not very sharp. Okay, you can see some more pictures here. For example, here, it's very pixelated. Now, let me open this up. Now, a computer monitor, right? A computer screen. If you could look at a computer screen very closely, you see that you probably won't see it, but it's made up of a lot of tiny dots or tiny squares on the monitor screen, right? It's made up of a lot of tiny dots, a lot of tiny squares. And those are called pixels. It's like you divide the whole screen into little dots and squares. So the more squares you have, or the more dots you have on the screen, the better the resolution. So when we look at this picture of Barack Obama here, the picture on the right has very few pixels, right? The pixels are very few. Pixels. So very few pixels, right? Very few pixels. And then you say, maybe you say it's a bad image, or the image is not sharp, right? Bad image, not sharp. Not sharp. You say the image is not sharp because there are very few pixels, right? But the one on the left, the picture right here is pretty sharp. You say you have very good pixels there. So when we go back to that description, it's saying right here that resolution is defined by how many software picture elements, pixels, are used to draw the screen, right? If you go to your, if I go to my, actually, if you go to your desktop, and go to, let's see, you go to, I think that's your display settings. Exactly. If you go to your display settings and you go over here on the display, you notice that you have some options here, right? You have display resolution, and you have different resolutions here. Right? You have different resolutions here. Now, if you select the last option here, 800 by 600, everything on your computer is going to be big. But then you don't have enough space. You don't have enough space for everything, right? So everything is so big, but there's no space for everything.
It's a little.
So you have Go ahead, Anjuman.
It has a little pixel, no pixel, a few pixel.
Exactly. You have fewer pixels with the one at the bottom here, 800 by 600.
Yes.
Right? But if you go up and you increase the pixels, now you have a lot of pixels, and it looks like you have more space on your computer or on your desktop. All right, so that's and then everything is much sharper for you. So that's what we mean there by the pixels. The pixels will affect the size of the text, the apps, and everything that you see there. All right, so that's where we can set that up. Usually, they recommend using a higher pixels, but older computers used to be about 800 by 600. Older computers, right? So that's where we get that display from in terms of the pixels. All right, so right here it says, just to look at this right here, this example or this statement. Where is it? Where's my? All right. 1 second. Where's my highlighter? Okay, so resolution is described in terms of the visible image's dimensions, right? The dimension, like we said, if you increase the pixels, everything seems to get bigger, or if you reduce the pixels, all right? So it indicates how many rows and columns of pixels are used to draw the screen. So here's an example again I can show you. If I go to Microsoft Word, let's say I want to draw a table. In Microsoft Word, you have an option to draw a table. So if I pick up this table, right, say I want to draw, for example, here I have just say 9 cells. Now, if I increase it, right, I can keep increasing that. So that's kind of like how the pixels work. If you have very few pixels on your screen, everything is bigger, but not so sharp, and then you can increase it, right? So just to give you an idea of maybe, of what that kind of looks like, very big pixels or, very small, and then you repeat this, so, maybe that helps to kind of explain what we're talking about. So your screen literally looks like this image we looked at here, like a lot of tiny squares, and this picture here has very few pixels. All right, very few pixels. So the higher the pixels, just like we saw here, back to this display settings, the lower the pixels, right, then your pictures are not so sharp. But if you have a higher resolution, like 1920 by 1080, then you have a lot more. And then everything is now much sharper on your screen. All right. So if you see this kind of question and it says, out of these options, which option will give you a better resolution, right? The word resolution, which will give you a better resolution. That is, a better resolution means you have more pixels. All right. Okay.
I have a question.
Let's keep going. Sure. The numbers. Okay.
The first numbers, I mean, the column numbers will always be higher than the second number, right? On resolutions.
Yeah, because if I go back to this, if I go back here, so actually it doesn't necessarily mean that. So, but in most cases, let me get a shape here. In most cases, your screen is a rectangle, right? Your screen is a rectangle, and so the width is going to be more than the height. But if let's say it's a cell phone, it's a mobile phone, right? Then a mobile phone or a tablet might probably be, like something like this. So if with a tablet, you would have a shorter, the first number will be shorter than the second number. So it all depends on the size of the screen, the dimensions of the screen. Because I'm looking at this on a desktop, right? I'm looking at this on a desktop, then absolutely it's going to give me. But sometimes when I want to change my screen, and just kind of, maybe it depends on the work I'm doing, I can decide to change the pixels and I can flip my screen, sort of. Let me show you what I mean by flipping my screen. Let me show you a flipped screen. Because sometimes you might want to do that, depends on the work you're doing. So see what I mean by flip screen here. All right, so, okay, now look at, this is actually a good picture. Have you guys ever noticed something like this, where on your computer, the whole thing just went sideways? Have you noticed that?
No.
Okay, let me show you something, right? So right now on your computer, let me show you this trick. You can do Control plus Alt, and then arrow keys. Okay, so try it now on your computer. Hold down Control Alt and then press the arrow keys: top, side, bottom, top, left, top, right, left, bottom. Top. Do you understand? Hold down Control Alt on your keyboard and then press the top arrow or the bottom arrow. What happened to your screen? Anybody notice anything?
It's flipped. Yes, it's flipped.
Exactly. It's going to flip.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you might make a mistake and you think, oh, my computer is messed up. Everything is wrong. Something went wrong. No, maybe you pressed your keys and you didn't realize it.
It didn't
Now,
work
if you
on
want to
mine.
get more space, what happened to yours, Alex?
Oh,
The screen.
no, yeah, it didn't work. I tried Control,
Control Alt,
and
Control
arrow
Alt.
keys never worked.
Okay, well, try it again. Control Alt, and then use the top arrow key or the left arrow key, or the bottom or the left. Left, right, bottom, top. Control Alt, then top arrow. Control Alt, bottom arrow. Control Alt, right arrow. You should notice that your screen will flip.
Maybe
It's not flipping?
No.
You're sure you're doing Control Alt, right? Because it always, that's the command to get it to do something like that.
Yeah, for me
like-
also,
okay.
I didn't get.
The same. I try mine too, but
You didn't notice?
I
Yeah,
did.
maybe something else, some other key.
No, it's Control. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Let's just check it out here. Flip screen. Okay, that's it right there. So Control Alt down arrow. It will change your screen to a landscape. Control Alt left arrow, change it to portrait. So your screen will definitely flip. You have to hold down Control Alt, hold it down, then press the arrows one at a time. For example, okay, if I do it for you, okay, watch me. Control Alt. Okay, let's see. Control Alt. Can you see my screen has flipped? Did anybody notice?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's it. Control Alt. Now it's upside down. Everybody's upside down now, right? Couch, can you see it's upside down?
Now we can see, but upside down, now we can see the screen.
Your screen doesn't change on our
Yeah,
Oh, it doesn't change on your end?
Yeah, only for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They
terrible.
just say your
That's
screen
terrible.
make it smaller.
Okay, how about now?
No,
Not turn. I think.
just
Oh,
make
you
it
guys are not
smaller.
okay. So it's only me that has seen the effect.
Maybe.
It's only me that's seen the effect. Well, but that's what I just noticed it, right? When I did it. But basically, what happens is it looks like this picture here. Where is it? It looks like one of these pictures. Where? All right. So, for example, right here, these guys have flipped their screen here. Oh, yeah, something like this. Yeah. So when you flip it, your screen will just become sideways, right? But don't worry about it. When you have time later, you can always try it out. Okay. So anyway, to your question, Alex. So if you flip your screen, sometimes you might flip your screen and you might see that some people in some businesses, they have two screens, right? You can have two monitor screens and, just maybe for your work, one of your monitor screens, right, is going to be portrait view, like it's going to stand up vertically, like the one on the right. So in this picture, you guys can see this picture, right, Alex?
Yeah.
So in this picture, the computer to the right, the numbers will be smaller. The first number will be smaller. So it can be something like, maybe, I don't know. Let me see those numbers again. So the number on the right can be, like, it's going to be reversed. Like it can be 768 by 1366, right? Or 900 by, because it looks at the width and then the height. The width and the height. You understand? It looks at the width and then the height. All right. So let's keep going here. So if you ever do that, then you're going to notice that. Okay. All right, so that is, so yeah, so you're going to see those pixel settings on, projectors, a lot of different screens will have those kind of settings. Depends on how sharp the pictures are going to be in that. Well, we have this, LCDs, different kinds of monitors, right? Different monitors that you might see. LCDs, LEDs. It's important to know the, the full word of the acronym, liquid crystal display. Light emitting diode right here, LED, all right? So some of these are older technologies that, people don't really use so much anymore. But then now you have plasma. So anyway, LCDs, LEDs, plasma, touch screens, things like that. So let's go to touch screens. Touch screens are common on computers, obviously, tablets, obviously your phone, and basically you use your finger, right, on that touch screen, to move around. You use your finger up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's something that we're all common with. And when you want to clean your device, right? Some people use paper towels. Paper towels never work. It just gets worse. If you're trying to clean your tablet or your cell phone, so you have some kind of, well, you might have to order it on Amazon, but let's say there's a kind of a cloth material. Actually, I bought one the other day. There's a kind of a cloth material that you use. Let's say tablet. Say it again.
Static cloth.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the name. It's kind of like a blue cloth or something, right? I forget the name now. So let's see if we can. Yeah, well, it's called screen cleaning or something. It does a much better job. Okay, all these guys here, screen cleaning ball, whatever it's called. Yeah, this blue one here. Yeah, this blue cloth. It does an excellent. First time I got it, somebody gave me actually, and I tried it. Just one time, it was just perfect. Yeah. Right? It does a very, very good job. So, because your finger is always on that device all the time. And especially during this COVID-19, they need all this different cleaning equipment to keep things clean. But sometimes it's so dirty, you can't even see the phone. You can't even see the tablet. Everything is just so greasy, so much oil and stuff. Okay? So this might be some options for you there to clean. All right. So your webcam, obviously you all have webcams, including me. I just got my webcam, obviously, right? So your webcam is talking about the webcam right here. All the different devices that connect to your system. Now, let me ask a question here, Kaush. Is a webcam an input or an output device?
Input.
What do you think? The webcam is input. What are you putting in there?
Our picture, our image, like they're taking our image to the screen.
Okay, so why is that input?
What's that?
Are you? Yeah, the question is the webcam an input or an output device?
What is input?
Why is it input?
Because it's take our image and display. The output is the screen monitor. I don't.
Input and
okay, so
output, it's
it's confusing.
Yeah, actually, I think somebody said input and output. So you're right. It takes your image input, and it displays it on the screen, output. So I think it does two things, right? It does two things. It takes your image and it displays it on the screen. So input and output.
So who's displaying your images? The screen, not the webcam.
Say it again.
Who's displaying the your
Monitor.
image? Your is the monitor.
Output is monitor, and that means the we can see through the webcam that the I don't know.
So
It's comes.
So the webcam inputs your image in the computer, and the monitor outputs it,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Arch, what do you think?
Yeah, that's right. Oh. The camera will capture our image and display in the monitor.
Yeah. So when it captures your image, that is input. And then on the screen, you can see the image, which is the output, right? So I think it does kind of, so I think primarily you can say that the webcam is for input. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So obviously, in terms of the definition, we all know what that is, right? Webcam is a small camera attached or built into your computer. If it's external, you can just connect it to your computer, like with a USB, right? If it is built into your computer, then it's already there. You don't need to do anything. It's just in there, right? So right here it says, now it does not record the video. It only transmits the signals to the computer, right? It transmits the signals to the computer. Okay. All right. Now let's see here. So the different connections that we might have, the different connections or connectors, right? Here is an example of different connectors. So you might use a USB, FireWire, or a wireless connection. A wireless connection can be like Bluetooth. Okay, you guys know Bluetooth, right? Bluetooth connection on your phone or on that device, so you don't need any wires. So it can be USB, FireWire, or like a wireless connection, right? Like when you have your mouse, you might have a wireless mouse. You have a little, should I say, USB that you plug into your monitor, right? And it works with your mouse. So whatever, a lot of devices do that if it's wireless. All right. So now let's look at video connectors. Video connectors are how you can see stuff on your computer, right? Like your computer monitor. When we say video connectors, your computer monitor. The different kinds of monitors and their connections on your computer. All right. So the first one we look at here, behind a computer, you're going to see, it's called a VGA connector. It looks like this. A VGA connector, right? It looks like that. Let's look at another picture here. A VGA connect, VGA cable, all right? So that's a VGA cable right there, right? I mean, like I said, you probably have seen this before. Most certainly you have seen this before. You may not know the name, but it's called the VGA cable. And it's I think it's always blue. The ends are always blue, right? Always. I don't think I've seen a different color. Maybe maybe just a little, but they're mostly blue, right? Anjuman, are they always blue, the two ends?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they're mostly blue.
No.
Yeah. All right, so that's what it looks like. Now, the VGA cable has two ends, right? It has two ends. The two ends are kind of like opposites, right? One end goes into the into your computer, right? And the other end goes into the monitor, right? The one end goes into your computer, the other end goes into your monitor. And we're going to see it right now. The two ends are called male and female, right? They're called male and female because of the connection type, right? So let's look at, maybe we can see, we'll see that a little bit more. So let's just, all right, so you see right here, so here are the two connection types, right?
Yes.
Let's see what it says here. Oh. All right, so right here, you can see right here, it tells you that there's a male connector, right? The male connector. So the top part, so if you see this question in your assignment, the top part here, this is the male connection, right? And this part here is on your computer, right? This bottom part here is on your computer. So you attach the top part cable, the VGA, to the bottom part on your computer. Okay? The VGA. Let me show you a little bit more of it. Yep. So right, that's it right there. So that's the male connector. It plugs into the monitor. So this is going to be your two connection points here. All right, and like I said, nearly all VGA connectors are blue in color, right? Like I have never seen a different color before. So always blue. Okay. So always blue. Okay. Now we have two types of monitor. Actually, like more than two now, but I think about three. So here's the VGA. The first one is the VGA, Video Graphics Array, VGA. So the next one here is your DVI, right? The Digital Visual Interface, DVI. Now DVI looks like this, right? The DVI looks like this for newer monitors. Some newer monitors have this kind of connection point. Not the VGA, the DVI. Okay? And then we have, obviously, we have the USB. We have the USB connections, and we have the HDMI. Okay. All right. So let's see something here, and then we have how fast is it? How fast is it? All right, let's look down here. It says, in the case of the USB, it's talking about the speed right here, right? The speed of transfer. So it's important to understand the different units of measure. For example, the speed in terms of bits per second. That's how you transfer data. We've talked about that before, right? Bits per second. So in case of the USB, USB doesn't it's not bits per second. With a USB, it's megabits per second. Important to understand, right? Megabits per second. You will also see kilobits per second, gigabits per second, terabits per second. So with USB transfers at a much higher speed, right? At a much higher speed when it comes to USBs. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. All right. Now HDMI is like that. A lot of devices at home will use a HDMI cable, right? May you have a HDMI cable at home somewhere, right? We use
Yeah.
Okay, so the HDMI cable can actually do audio and video. Right here it says it was introduced. Well, it was introduced in 2002, but it's much faster. It's much more stable. It works with video and audio, right? Right here it says the HDMI standard is very fast. HDMI 2.1. Well, that was 2017. It has a data rate of 48 gigabits per second. That's pretty intense. 48 gigabits per second. So it's pretty fast, right? Pretty fast, pretty stable. And it says right here, it can carry audio signals and video signals. So just with one HDMI cable, right? Audio and video. You don't need a different cable. Just one cable. It does the job. The HDMI. All right. So your HDMI, USB, DVI, and VGA are all video connectors. All right, video connectors. I think the most common one now is probably the HDMI because you have a lot of computer monitors. Where this monitor's pictures here. You have a lot of computer monitors that use HDMI, right? Now here's the problem, right? There's a word. Let's talk about a quick word here. The word COMP. May, what does this word mean? Do you know?
Sorry, I don't know.
Okay. Buntu, what does this word mean? Compatibility.
No. I don't know.
No idea? Okay. Buntu, okay. So here's what compatibility means, right? If you have two different devices, for example, can those two devices connect to each other? Are they compatible? Right? Compatibility, you can also say /COMPATIBLE. Are they compatible? So let's say we have this kind of a monitor, right? On your job, you go and buy a monitor like this. Okay? Now, the cable that you have for the monitor, after you buy the monitor, you have to buy the cable. Now, if you have a cable, like we just looked at the VGA. Now, will this cable, will this cable work with this monitor?
I don't think so.
Well, we don't know, right? We have to look at the monitor and look at the back and see what's in there. Right? So so that's what we mean by compatibility or compatible. That cable and the monitor, are they compatible? Can they work together? You know, like sometimes, at home, you might have maybe you want to connect something and you just can't find the cable. Like, where's the cable? Or even your phone, right? Even your phone, you might have your cord, but maybe it's the wrong cord for the phone. Like, where's my charger? You can't find your charger. So the charger you have is not compatible with your phone. So you might have to get a new charger. Like when I got my phone, right? You guys can see my phone, right? You guys see this? Oh, you guys can't hear it anymore. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay. When I got my phone, the charger here, let me get a pen. So where I charge right here, when I got this phone, well, I had to get a new charger. So the old charger didn't work anymore. Now they call this new charging port here like a C class or something crazy like that. So I had to get a new charger. So we have, like, I'm sure you guys have the same thing. You have so many different chargers at home. They're not all compatible with your phone. So May, compatible, that is when devices don't work together, or maybe cables don't work with the devices. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. So that's important when you're on the job. Sometimes we have all these devices. You might need to get, when you change, for example, if you're on the job and they say, let's do this again. All right, so let's say you're on the job and you have to change all the computers, right? I'm trying to get a picture here. Okay, let's just say, for example, you go and buy, some fancy monitors, or you buy a lot of monitors where you also have to make sure that you have the correct cables, right? So you buy a computer, it has to have all the right cables with it. And when we go back to the book and we look at all the different connections, well, the monitor you have, is it going to use a VGA cable? Is it going to use a DVI cable? Is it going to use a USB or HDMI? You might have to buy all these different things, right, for your monitor to work. You know what I mean? So sometimes people don't think about that. They just go and buy a fancy device, but then they forget to buy all the different cables for that device. Then you realize, oh, I have this big TV, but where are all the cables? Then you have to buy a different cable and buy a different cable for all the different devices you have. And then you have cables everywhere around your house. Too many cables, right? All right. So that's a HDMI cable. Like we said, it works with both, it carries both audio and video signals, right? Your VGA cable only carries video. The VGA does not carry audio, right? So if you have a VGA or a DVI, they don't carry audio. They only carry video. Even a USB doesn't do that. So, but your HDMI does both. It says it has an advantage, and it can carry audio and video, and video. All right, let's keep going. All right, so when you look at your computer, you're gonna see, like a little icon, right, on the computer, a little icon that maybe tells you where you plug your HDMI cable into, right? Sometimes, my son will say to me, "Where do I plug it? Where?" I say, "Okay, look at the device or the TV, and look at the shape. Look at the shape, and look for a shape. Look for a shape that looks like what you want to do, right? If you say, 'Where do I plug this?' Just look carefully, and you might see a shape, and then put it into that shape, right?" Anu, is that how to figure it out? Just look at the shape and say, well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That will help by the shape of charger. We can,
exactly. So if it's this shape here, or it's, the shape of this VGA, just look at the shape and boom, stick it in there. So I said, stop asking me questions. Look at the shape and then go and stick it in there, right? Okay. And we have a few others also. When you look at the different icons, right? The different icons will tell you what goes there. This is looks like this is mostly in the Apple products. It's called the Thunderbolt, right? You can see this like lightning flash right here. The lightning flash. I will give you an idea of what you do with that. Okay, so here's what we talked about earlier when Alex asked the question about how you configure the display on your computer. We already looked at it, right? So if you want to adjust a desktop monitor, I don't recommend it because sometimes it gets messed up. You know, you have those buttons to the bottom right of your monitor, right? The bottom right, maybe like at the, it might be something like, let's see. I had this nice picture. Where'd it go? Give me 1 second here. Let me get it. Oh, I think I lost my nice monitor. Okay, right here. So if you want to adjust the display, maybe sometimes it's too bright, or it's too dark, or you don't like the colors. It depends. You have to just look at it. Sometimes right here, somewhere around here, is where you see the different options to make it brighter or darker or more color or less color, right? So somewhere around there. The only problem is when you change it, sometimes you don't know how to change it back to how it was originally, right? So maybe just leave it the way it is. I don't know. It's up to you. But you might find the different ways to adjust your monitor, you know, the look, maybe the colors or something, right here at the bottom, or maybe at the back on the side, somewhere there. Or sometimes if it's a laptop, you can use the different keys here. Now, has anyone seen an FN key on your laptop? FN key. Anybody? Is there an FN key on your keyboard?
Yes.
It's not a very good picture here. Okay, so what's the FN key for, Ling? You have any idea what the FN key does?
I don't know. I have never used it.
Maybe function?
You haven't used it before?
Yeah.
This is for any
but
function?
You have an FN key?
Yeah,
you have an FN key?
Yeah.
All right, so the FN key is a function key, right? So what does that mean? So you might, okay, let me see if I can get a better, okay, right here. Okay, let's use this one. All right, so now you see all the controls at the, you know, like at the back of the keyboard. So let's say, for example, you want to raise the volume, right? You want to raise the volume, or you want to change the brightness or something. You have to hold down the FN key, right? Sometimes the color might be blue, so hold down the FN key and then press any of the keys at the back that has the blue different icons to it. So you hold down the FN and then you press any of those keys, and then that button will work.
Okay.
So you can try that, Ling. The function key, just hold down the function key, and then like the volume, or like if you have music on, you can play, pause, rewind, fast forward. All those keys are right there on your monitor. I mean, on your keyboard. So you have to hold on the FN key, right? So you can try that if you want.
Yeah.
I use a lot that
That's what it
to
says here.
print my screen.
Exactly. Yep. You want to print your screen, just hold on the FN key and then click print screen. The print screen key is like right above the insert key, like the right side of your keyboard. If you want to print your screen, FN. But if you don't have an FN key, don't worry about it. But if you have an FN key, a lot of the functions on your keyboard will not work if you don't press the FN key, right? So that's what all those blue buttons or whatever color it is, that's what those guys do there. Okay, so we're looking at some more display features on your computer. So Alex, can you share your screen? I just want to show us something here. Let's see some of the options you have on your computer.
All right. Which one?
Can you share your screen?
Okay.
Like entire screen.
Uh-huh.
There's an option at the bottom. Just say share screen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here. Not to an email.
All right, let's go to your desktop.
It doesn't allow me to go to my desk.
No, you can no, just minimize your browse, minimize all the windows you have. Then it will show us your desktop. Or you click on the Windows key and M.
Actually, I click on Windows and D, so I could
No, Windows and M. Windows and M.
M. Your screen sharing is paused. I don't know. It just pauses my screen share as soon as I go to my desktop.
Oh, so it doesn't allow us to see your desktop. Okay.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
Okay. Now
exactly. That's what we want to see. Okay, great. So right click here. All right, so guys, so you have options, right, of what you can do on your desktop, right? For example, those icons on your desktop, if you don't want to see those icons, just go to View and go to Hide. Is it Hide or Don't Show? Yeah, like the last option there. Yeah, just click at the bottom, and then it just disappears, right?
Right.
So if you want to have a clean desktop, you can do that, or you can bring it back. You know, it depends on what you want to do. Okay, let's keep going there. Let's go back. Let's do that again. Right click. So you can bring it back. Just click on Show. All right. Right click again. So let's go to the monitor display settings. Okay. So we looked at if you want to change see where you have changed the size of text, scale and layout. The first option there, the drop down. No, come down. Scale and layout. No, the first option, go up a little bit, where you have 100% recommended.
Oh.
Right there. Okay, so click that. All right. So this is if you want to make everything bigger, right? For example, why don't you select 200%? You see how that is?
Yeah.
So everything becomes too big, right? It's probably too big. Okay. So it depends on what you want to do. You can always make adjustments. All right. So you can bring it back. You can make it more or less. So you can bring it back to 100%. That's recommended.
Yeah. Much better.
Now it looks so tiny, right? Okay. Let's look at, so we looked at the display resolution already. It looks like you selected the highest resolution.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, it's just recommended, so I didn't intend to change it.
You didn't change it?
No.
Yeah, well, depends. If you want everything to be, like right now, you have a lot of space on your desktop. If you click that option again, if you try, let's see, if you try, say, 1360, try 1360 by 768. No, sorry, try 1600. Okay, well, here's another option. Right? So you can just play around with it, just to see, which. Oh, there are lots of options, but if you don't go down, don't go too far down. Too far down, you have, But if you stay over 1360, yeah, you might have something that is that works for you also there. Because sometimes everything is just so tiny that you can't see anything.
Maybe this.
Okay. Yeah, if that works for you too, but you can always do that later. Okay, so let's click on revert. Okay, then let's look at display orientation. Display orientation. All right. Okay, now, so you see those options, right? Portrait. So click on portrait. All right, so you see that? So if you were, let's say you're like a web designer, right? and you're trying to design, a website for a phone, then you can use this resolution just to see what it looks like. Now, if you click on now you see, if you look at the display resolution, the numbers are going to change around. The smaller number will be in front because now you have a. So do it again. So portrait. You can keep the change for now, and then you do it later. You undo it. Now go back to your. So you see the options there. Did they flip around? Yeah. So you have 768. The smaller numbers.
Flipped for you, but they look. They are changed.
So the smaller numbers will be in front, and then the larger number, because that's for the width and the height, I think.
Right.
So, but I don't think you want to keep this view, right? Because I see how you're bending your head, like.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable.
Okay, so let's see if you can put it back. Can you put it back?
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, that was tough, right? Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Now now you see the multiple displays, right? So let's say you had a projector, right? Let's say you connect your laptop to a projector, or if you have a computer that allows you to connect two monitors, then you can have multiple displays. So you have two screens, you have two screens, two computers on your desk, and you can choose to, extend your screen so that, you have more, you have to, just like the other picture I showed you guys. You have multiple views. All right. So that's for display there. I think we also have, what's the advanced display settings? Select a display. What's the first option there?
Okay,
well, that's the only one you have.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one. So it depends on how the computer was built. Some computers will allow you to. I don't think this computer has that setting. But some computers, when you buy the computer, it allows you to use multiple monitors on that computer. But and if it allows you to do that, then it will show you that option here. But I don't think this one has that option. All right, but not a problem. Okay, very good. Let's see one more. Let's see something else here.
There's another last option here, but is there anything...
graphic settings. Let's see what that is. Graphic settings.
Not too much.
So choose an app to set preference. Reduce latency and improve performance. You need to restart your PC to have your changes. Hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. It's probably not important. So, I wouldn't bother with this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay. So see that option to the right where it says setting up multiple monitors.
Oh.
Yeah, what does it say?
Yeah.
All right, dual monitors. So you have to read it. It depends on, I think it depends on if your computer has the capability to do that. It says select start settings system display. Your PC should automatically detect your monitors and show your desktop. If you don't see the monitors, select detect. In the multiple display section, select an option. So it depends. If your computer has the setting, then you can connect two different monitors to the back of the computer. So you just have to check that later. Okay.
I think maybe I would first think of a reason to have more than one.
Well, some people do it because it's more convenient, and they have a lot of work, a lot of files, so they want to see two screens at the same time. It's kind of like, let me show you what I mean. like the one I showed you guys earlier. Where was it? Was it this one? No, not this one here. Had one, yeah, like something like this, right? So it depends on what kind of work you're doing. Most times you go to an office, they're going to have two monitors. Maybe there's a document you're looking at to the right side. On the left side, you have something else, you know. So in that setting, then you have multiple monitors. And then it depends on how you set it. You can actually drag a page or a document from the left side and drag it to the right side monitor. Right? So, you know, there are a lot of things you can do there. And then especially if you have a projector, like when I teach in a classroom, I connect my laptop or computer to the monitor. So what you see on my monitor, on my computer, you see it on the projector, right? You guys have seen a projector, right? Kaush?
Is that the one when we work with the two computers, that two computers display with the same one monitor? It's like
a projector. So a projector, this is a projector, right? Like you use in a classroom or you use in a conference or in a meeting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Something like that, like a projector.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be an overhead projector, like that.
Yes. Actually, no. I mean that the two screen, like in the same monitor. The one monitor we use for the display two computers screen. When we work with the two computers, that's what you mean?
Oh no, yeah. So, okay. Oh, okay. You mean this one here? Yeah. So on your computer. So right now you're looking at my screen. You're seeing only one screen. If I have two screens, I can have some work on the left side monitor and some more work on the right side monitor. Right? So you don't have to like close and open, close and open, close and open. So some people it's just more convenient, but it's still your computer. It's just the same computer, but it's showing you two different like screens.
Yes.
If that makes sense. So these two computers are these two monitors are connected to the same computer.
Okay. Yeah.
But just for convenience, right? You have some files open on the right side, some files open on the left side. You might think, who needs that? But you know, you might think makes no sense. But a lot of people do it.
I heard once that developers use one screen for developing their apps and the other screen for testing.
Yep.
Actually,
and some people just do it because it looks. Some people just do it because it looks cool. You know, it looks like you're walking. It looks like you're very busy. You know. So I don't know, but you know the options are there. Okay, let's see one more thing here. And then, so that's what you see here in this section about the different settings, settings for monitors. If your computer can do that, then you're going to see these different options there. You can show, it depends on how you want to do it anyway. Okay. So external storage connectors, external storage. So external storage are going to be like, you guys know, I went to a store over the weekend and I saw a USB with 264 gigabytes. I could not believe it. 264. This little USB device here, right? You can see that this one here is 1 gigabyte, but now they're like 264. I'm sure they're going to be like 500 gigabytes very soon, or 1 terabyte for this little tiny things.
So much space.
Absolutely. So they're called flash drives. They're called thumb drives because they're really small. Okay, right here it says that they have some that are 1 terabyte. Right? Imagine that, 1 terabyte. So these days, people use flash drives, but because you have things like Google Drive and Microsoft, you have Microsoft, OneDrive, you have Google Drive, you have Dropbox. There are a lot of options, right, that people use to save their files online, right? Because if you have all your files in this flash drive and you lose it, sorry, your stuff is gone. So some people choose to save some things here and some things on online. I'll show you guys something like that, an online option when we come to class the next time. So you have flash drives, you have memory cards. They all have different sizes of storage, and you can find the different slots on your computer. Okay, so we'll look at hard drives. So we'll look at more of this here at the next class. All right, so we're all done right now. Let's look at the attendance and let's take the attendance, and we can be completely done for today.